Interaction School of Performing Arts presents The Snow Queen, based on the story by Hans Christian Andersen and adapted by Interaction's Advanced Performance Company. The Snow Queen was edited by Ryan Brown with music by Chuck Teed. The Snow Queen is supported by the St. John Community Arts Board. The Snow Queen features the voices of Alex Sullivan, Valerie Cullinan, Catherine Gray, Grace Maloney, Cam McCarthy, Ethan Lord, Will Gallant, Bridget Jacobsen, Jesse Coffin, Alex Hawkins, Savana Somers, Charlie Clements, Ashley Sears, Mikayla Hanlon, Ivy McCaffrey, and Quinn McElman. Enjoy the show. Thank you for listening.
Why, hello there! Welcome to my forest. I could see you've gathered today for a story. Is it cold where you are? It's cold here, and soon all the land will be covered with snow. But in my forest, it is warm. A warmth that comes from the light in our inhabitants and our visitors like you. I love nothing more than sharing stories. So have you come here today for a story of adventure? A story of running and flying and jumping and fighting? With talking animals and children who have to solve riddles? Well, we have all that in our story. But our story is also a story of hope, a story of peace, a story of friendship. Look around, listen, see and hear the others in the forest. Together, we will travel on this adventure, and together, we will return. Ooh, but first, I must introduce my friends. They too will travel with you. You shall never be alone. Let me introduce them. Beaver of the River Folk.
That's me. Sorry, I don't mean to talk with my mouth full, but I can't help but gnaw on this tasty piece of maple tree.
And this is Cat of the Flower Folk.
Hello, new friends. I'm so excited to share our story with you.
And next are the crows of the forest flying high above our heads.
Caw! Hello there! Caw! Caw!
And here is my oldest and most loyal friend, the old caribou.
Owl, how delightful to see you. And hello out there. You are definitely in for a treat.
And let us not forget Polar Bear of the North. He stays in the north, and we will meet him later. And that leaves me, the wise owl. I sit atop the trees, watching over the world. I will be your guide on this journey. Are you sitting comfortably and cozy? Please settle in, and we shall begin our tale. The tale of the Snow Queen. Story 1. In a small town just up the road from where you live now, lived two children who had the greatest friendship that two children could ever possibly have. Gerda had just turned 11 years old and celebrated by visiting her friend Kai and his grandmother for cake and hot cocoa, and together they built a puzzle, a gift from grandmother. The picture on the puzzle was quite difficult for two 11-year-old children. It depicted a glorious castle sitting atop a winter-filled mountain, and as they looked closely at the pieces, studying their lines and color, it appeared as though the castle itself was made of ice, with sharp, jagged edges and piercing white light. But when they finally placed the last piece in the center, the picture was calm, beautiful, and a place they might like to visit in their imagination and adventure games. It was now late afternoon, and the sun was due to fade soon.
Grandmother, may Kai and I play outside before dinner? We won't go far.
Kai's grandmother was sitting in her rocking chair by the wood stove. She had just finished knitting a bright red wool hat for Kai.
Do you promise to take care of each other and not get into any trouble?
Kai walked over to Grandmother and placed 2 fingers in the air like a proper Boy Scout.
We promise. And can we get you anything before we go? Some more tea?
Oh, Kai, you sweet boy. I will be fine. Here, you can wear this new hat and mitts. The temperature is falling. Now, be careful.
We will. Come on, Kai, let's go.
The sky was a deep purpley blue-gray, and the wind nipped at their ears as Kai and Gerda ran down the lane towards the town square. Cars filled with parents on their way home from work drove past, and Kai waved to his friend Hans, who was delivering the evening newspaper. Gerda began to run a little faster, as she wanted to reach the walking bridge at the river before they had to return home. The bridge was as far as she was allowed to roam. Grandmother warned her that past the bridge the river became rocky, and in the woods lived vicious wild animals. One day last summer, Gerda and Kai stood on the bridge and tried to see the eyes of tigers, wolves, or even grizzly bears peering out from the trees. But all they could see were chickadees flying in the branches and a field mouse rummaging for crumbs. When Gerda reached the bridge, she stopped and looked at the river. The water was beginning to form little icy edges where it reached the shore, and soon they'd be able to skate across to the other side. Gerda stepped on the ice with one foot to hear it crackle under her feet.
Careful, Gerda. It's icy. You could slip and fall in.
It's fine, Kai. I've done this a million times. Here, give me your hand. I won't let you fall.
I'm not afraid of falling. I just don't want you to get hurt. Let's go up to the bridge. It's safer there.
Kai, it's the first cool day of winter, and it's my birthday. It's what we've been looking forward to all year. Skating, sledding, snowmen.
Gerda, look. From up here on the bridge, we can see the whole town. Hey, look, the lights are up in the town square. I hope this is a good winter.
Good? Winter is always good.
It's just hard sometimes in winter. My grandmother is getting older, and she says her bones ache when it's cold. And she still insists on chopping the wood for our fire herself. She won't let me go out if it's even a little bit stormy.
I wouldn't argue with your grandmother, Kai. She's old, but she's tough.
Yes, but if something ever happened to her, I'd be all alone.
Kai, that's nonsense. I would look after you.
We're just kids. We can't look after ourselves.
We may be kids, but I'd never let anything bad happen to you. I'd protect you.
And I'd protect you too.
I know. That's what best friends do. Besides, someone has to hold your hand to help you skate. Whoa! Did you hear that? Look, it's getting darker. A storm must be coming up.
Just then, they heard Grandmother calling from along the path.
Kai! Kai! Gerda!
Grandmother.
We're over here.
Children! Oh, thank heavens I found you. A storm is coming. I can feel it in my bones.
I have to be home by dark anyway, and I forgot how quickly it gets dark nowadays.
The sky was nearly dark, and they reached the lane. Grandmother held in one hand her wooden walking stick, and the other held Kai's hand, just to be sure he was safe with her. The light from the street lights flickered on, and they could see the snow beginning to fall.
You know, when I was young, my grandmother told me the snowflakes were white bees, swarming through the winter night skies, searching for flowers from seasons past.
Do they have a queen bee, too?
Of course, every hive has its queen.
Who is she?
Oh, she is called the Snow Queen. She flies where the swarm is thickest. She is the biggest of them all and rules over in her ice castle in the north. She is a giant magical mirror made of icy glass. Many winter's nights, she holds the mirror down to the earth, looking for people to steal to her castle. Then, she sends the bees down to swarm the streets. They peep in at the windows and leave icy patterns that look like flowers on the glass.
What if the bees sting someone?
All goodness is taken from them, and their hearts turn cold. The Snow Queen flies to the earth with the power of the storm and steals people away to her ice castle.
Can they be saved?
Oh, it's very far from here, and if you're not rescued before the spring sun comes, they remain frozen in her castle forever.
That can't be real.
That is why you mustn't stay out in the storm, children. And here we are, safe at home. Kai, come inside. Gerda, you head straight home as well. I'm going to make dinner.
Be right there.
Look at those ice bees. I'm not afraid of them or their queen.
Gerda, my grandmother was just telling us a story to keep us out of danger. You should hear the story she told me about why I should eat my vegetables. Gerda, what are you doing now?
Trying to catch a snowflake on my tongue, silly. You try.
Kai joined Gerda, standing side by side in the snowy air, faces toward the night sky, tongues out. They could feel the snowflakes melting softly on their rosy cheeks, and the wind began to howl in their ears. Kai looked up to a small gale of snowflakes that seemed to move like a flock of birds, up to the sky, then down, then hovering over Gerda and quickly moving to just above his face. All at once, he felt a stinging in his eye and he cried out,
Ow! Ow! What was that?
What happened?
Something stung my eye. Ouch!
Like a snow bee?
No, Gerda, don't make fun. It really hurt.
Let me see. Nope, nothing. Just a snowflake.
Ow! What was that? Gerda, you threw a rock at me?
No, I was just standing here.
Ow! Stop it, Gerda! Stop it!
Kai, I'm not doing anything. It's just snow. Let me see.
No! Stay away from me. It's your fault. Was it a rock?
Kai, be careful. It's icy. You're going to fall.
You're pushing me! Stop it, Gerda! Get away! You're awful! I hate you! I hate you!
Gerda watched Kai, tears streaming down his face, his mouth twisted in anger and fear, and as she reached out to him, he darted off, down the lane, and disappeared into the snowy night.
Kai, come back! Oh, I don't know what happened. Grandmother, help! Come quickly.
Gerda, what is it? Where's Kai?
I didn't do anything. The snowflakes, he said they hurt him and he ran away. We have to find him.
Oh no, not Kai. Let me get my walking stick and boots.
No, you stay here. It's too icy for you. I'll find him, I promise.
Kai ran as fast as he could, slipping over the newly formed ice petals and even falling on the hard ground. His eyes stung and his shoulders hurt, like something hard had hit him with a rock or tried to grab him. He reached the edge of the river and collapsed on his knees. His lungs hurt from the cold air, and he could hardly see through his tears.
That Gerda, she threw rocks at me. I thought she was my friend. I hate her. I hate everyone. Everyone.
Kai! Kai?
No, get away. Everyone stay away. You did this to me. You and your rotten world. Get away. Get away.
Just then, Kai looked up to see the squall of snowflakes moving together again in the dark sky. Only this time, they were gathering. The snow was no longer falling down, but the flakes seemed to move together, as if a giant magnetic force was pulling them in. More and more snowflakes gathered, and then Kai saw something magical. The snowflakes parted, and a beautiful woman dressed all in white was floating in the sky. She looked like she was made of pure ice, with a crown of diamonds and icicles. She wore a long, flowing dress with a train that flowed up to the clouds. She reached her hand out to him, and he extended his hand to touch hers. And all at once, she was gone, and so was Kai. All that was left was his bright red hat where he had once stood. Gerda ran through the town, following Kai's footsteps in the snow. She ran past people shoveling the sidewalk in the town square, some rushing home to get out of the wind, others just watching the snow fall.
Excuse me. Have you seen my friend, a little boy wearing a red hat?
Kai? Yeah, he was just here, on the riverbank.
But he wasn't acting like himself. He was yelling and screaming at the snow.
Oh no, where did he go?
Look, over there. Is that his hat?
Yes, it is.
Gerda ran to the hat and picked it up. Other villagers began to gather around, hearing the commotion.
He must have fallen into the river.
He would have never survived the water in this storm.
Did you hear the news? The boy Kai, he fell in the river and drowned.
The current must have pulled him into the icy waters.
He's gone.
There was no one to save him.
The river took him.
Someone has to tell his grandmother.
As the town folk made their way to the grandmother's home, Gerda remained where she and Kai had stood earlier in the day. But now the river seemed colder, darker, and lonely. Gerda held Kai's new red hat to her cheeks, and she could smell the wood stove from his home. She felt very scared and very alone. All was quiet.
No, it can't be true. He can't be gone. I said I'd look after him. I promised his grandmother. Something happened to him just before he ran away. He would never go near the river edge. He was afraid of it. Oh, Kai, what happened to you? Where did you go?
I have him. I have your Kai.
Who said that?
By the sun of spring, he will be frozen forever in my castle.
Who are you? Who said that?
Kai is mine.